All right, so I wasn't going to do a video today because I'm tired, I'm annoyed, and mostly I just wasn't motivated to do anything. I just wanted to come home, drink my hooch, and go into my special place. But first thing this morning, Blue asked me a simple, straightforward question. Why is it that poor people don't like each other? Why is there no real support network? And while I was listening to the epic economist on my drive home from work today, who was talking about something as stupid as building a community. We are a society of individuals. We don't even have a third space anymore. We gave that up a long time ago to be angry and alone. Most of us will spend our entire adult lives looking for things that we will never be able to put our grubby little dirty pearl hands on because that's just the way that life is. It's not good, it's not fun, but you can't opt out of it because, well, what else are you supposed to do? You can't make yourself not be here anymore because then you'll go to hell. But with that said, let's get into today's opening monologue. You ever notice how every broke person's supposed to just keep the faith? Like rent's going to disappear if you pray hard enough or report enough grind quotes. They sell hope like Netflix, monthly payments of optimism with no refund policy. It's not motivation anymore. It's propaganda for people who can't afford to quit. And that's the one thing that you look at. It's like, just quit. And you look at people who won't quit because they're too dumb, right? They don't realize that the deck is so stacked against them that they will never accomplish anything in their lives. They're living their crummiest life and calling it their best life. Somehow they just can't acknowledge the fact that life doesn't like you, especially if you're a poor person or an uneducated person or a person that's seen as being, well, mentally less gifted. As I've said before, I had to start getting these scripts at an IQ level of 85 because there's a much broader audience for below average than even average because that's where people go. That's why marketing campaigns for Nike and McDonald's still work because we know what they're selling us is junk. Just like the life you get to live every day is junk. You don't want it, but it's what you can afford. You eat ramen because it's what you can afford. You get into your Promobile because it's what you can afford. You go to that job like a pack mule, like Blue. She goes to work as a mailman every day, and on her back is a sack. And everywhere you go, it's the same thing. It's just a different version of McDonald's. And it's unfortunate because everyone's tired of it. Everyone's done working 40 hours a week for a paycheck that looks like it's a 5 hour a week paycheck because that's what it's buying you. You're not going to get ahead. Look in your savings account right now. Look at the bills you can't afford to pay. Look at your power bill. Look at what you get out of life for sacrificing your life for a system that doesn't want you, that doesn't like you, and that doesn't understand that you stay awake at night. I woke up again at 1 o'clock in the morning today and I couldn't go back to sleep. I tossed and turned. I wondered what was wrong with me. I thought about whether or not my depression was getting worse and worse and worse. And I'm in denial. I have to stay in denial about it because what am I supposed to do? Go to a therapist, pay them a ridiculous amount of money to tell me, MillennialSteam, you're screwed. You've gotten to the point in your life where you're not going to win anymore. And that is happening to a lot more young people where they're coming to the conclusion that they're not going to win anymore. The system has you by the short hairs. Motivation comes through the form of a car battery that's already getting ready for you to show up tomorrow morning at Pound Town. They attach those little electrodes right down there where you know the motivation comes from. No pun intended. And you can't get out of the way because you need money. We don't need jobs. We need all the money that we are going to spend on essentials, survival. We need a stipend for rent. We need medical care. We need transportation. And we need food that tastes better than 2 hands of dirt with a little cat pee on top, just to give it enough spice so that you can come back tomorrow and eat it again. Talking point number one. Hope isn't free. It's marketed. Every sermon, every self-help book, every rise and grind post is selling you the illusion that suffering has meaning if you just endure long enough. But endurance without leverage isn't strength. It's captivity. That's exactly what we have in America. The wage cage isn't just a metaphor, it's captivity. The average person can't decide that I'm not going back to Pound Town tomorrow because it hurts. Not only does it hurt you back there, but it's destroying your soul. It's destroying your willingness to continue going. It's destroying your hope that you will someday have fun again. That someday you'll have a meaningful relationship with a meaningful person, and that Susie Rottencrotch won't look as good as she does some days. I was sitting at a table on Saturday morning waiting for my breakfast burrito, and there was this girl there. She wasn't my type. She didn't look like she was well educated. She didn't look like much. But that's what life is. That's how the proletariat sees life. It doesn't look like much. It's not in good shape. It's not healthy. It doesn't smell good. And the smell is probably, I'm going to say, underarms and sweaty feet. That's what life smells like to us. And we know we don't want it. But what are you supposed to do? Push it out of the way and look over at the supermodel girlfriend you really want? No. You get that. You get the embodiment of what it is to admit that you failed at everything. Remember, every morning when I go to the bathroom to brush my teeth, I see the big L on my forehead. I see the chain around my left ankle of student loan debt. I see a job that will never promote anyone. McDonald's isn't about helping you. It's about making certain that you come back tomorrow because you're that desperate. No job in America offers any worker any sort of job satisfaction if you're working as close to the bone as humanly possible. At $16 an hour, you get life viewed through the bars of your cage. That's all you get. There's nothing more. There's nothing that's going to spice it up. Hell, they even took away our smut. And I was talking to someone today at McDonald's about this, and it's like, who's going to register to look at dirty pictures and shake hands with the governor? No one in their right mind is going to register. It would be stupid of you to sign up for a confirmation of your age. No one's going to do that because it feels dirty. The same way that admitting that your parole job is okay. It seems dirty, right? It seems like it's not right to admit to go to work with toxic positivity and convince yourself that this is okay. I'm okay with this being all that I can afford. It's not what I like. It's not what I want. But here I am. And there you are. Talking point number 2. The poor don't get to unsubscribe from struggle. Hope becomes a payment plan. One more invisible bill you owe to a system that already overdraws your account. They tell you to stay positive because hopeless workers don't show up on time. Hopeless workers don't show up at all. Everywhere you go in society, there's a lack of workers. Why? Because most people would rather not try if they're not going to have stuff. Most people would rather stay in their parents' basement and play Call of Duty or whatever other game you're playing. Because if you guys haven't noticed, video games 10 years used to be what you did. Today, not so much. Not only because they become so expensive, but because they're all the same. Somehow Call of Duty tried to turn itself into Fortnite and Overwatch, and suddenly every game is a piece of crap. I think the new Battlefield game's okay, but I'm not a Battlefield player. Hell, this is the first year that I haven't bought Borderlands because I'm just not interested in wasting hours. And most people don't have the free time to enjoy themselves when they're at home. They're sitting here talking into a microphone to make $30 or $50 a day. That's why I'm here. I'm not here because I want to be here. I'm not here to spread this gloomy message because that's what I want to do. Hopeless workers don't show up for life. They lack ambition. They're a low effort society. And when you start putting forth the minimal amount of effort to survive, you get the minimal amount of life. A low desire society is something that's crumbling. What we saw this weekend with the protests is ordinary people coming out and saying, you know what? What's happening to us right now isn't right. This isn't supposed to be this hard. I shouldn't be working mindlessly all week just to come home and share a can of dog food with your pet that doesn't exist anymore because you stopped being able to feed him. You still have his food. You still eat the dog food because it's what you've gotten used to. They've conditioned us to accept nothing as our reality. Remember, you will own nothing and be happy. So yeah, keep your hope up if you want. Just understand it's not a cure. It's a sedative. They'll sell you dreams while you're awake and bill you for believing. Because in this economy, hope isn't free. It's financed. And the only time the poor stop dreaming is when they finally wake up. Today, while I was checking out at Walmart, something caught my eye that I mention all the time. There's 3 short lottery machines at the front of the store. When life isn't going to be kind to you, why not throw away your money on scratchers tickets? That's what those machines are there for. They're taking out those last pennies of your bank account with false advertising. You can't win if you don't play. And that's how life is playing you right now. You can't win at life unless you're willing to give your soul to Evil Corp. And they don't care. They'll suck it right out of your behind all day long. Your soul's being crushed. The dreams that you had when you were still really young, still in college, you're seeing them disappear over a horizon. You're seeing the dystopian hellscape in everything. You go out to eat, it's $50. You're like, okay. I asked ChatGPT this question Saturday morning, and it was obvious that it didn't really understand the concept of money and poverty. I asked ChatGPT, and this is my final tangent here. Why is it so easy to spend $200, but so hard to make those $200 if you had to do it and you didn't have a regular job? That is a question I want all of you to ask yourselves. It is so much easier to blow your money to pay your internet bill, your cell phone bill, you put gas in your car, but when it comes to making that money in a way in which you're not sitting or standing at McDonald's over the fry later, why is it so hard? I asked it, how do I make money right now? And every time I asked it, do I have to turn to a life of crime? It would say this: my community guidelines won't let me talk about that. Would you like to talk about something else? Literally, that's my chats with ChatGPT almost every day. Would you like to talk about something else? Because that makes me uncomfortable. That's not politically correct. I don't want to talk about that. Anytime anything political comes up, it's been turned into something that can't handle it. Because God forbid it say something controversial. But that's where I'm going to leave you guys today because I'm tired. I don't want to do this and I'm out.